really cool little tassels and necklace connectors or whatever you want them to be. They're just really different and they're really pretty, and I want to show you how I made them because I'm sure that you will think of all kinds of things that you could use them for. And basically I've just used cylindrical paper here that I took out of a little scrapbook, and just, you know, basic beads, and I have made a bead out of lace. And I don't know if you've ever done that before, so I'm going to show you how I do it, and then after that I will show you how you would assemble part of this. Okay, so basically what you need is you need some Mod Podge and like a squeegee stick or whatever you call these, little foam thing, and you know, a pair of scissors would be good, flat nose pliers, round nose pliers. Here it is. You might need a nipper, a little cutter, you might need that. Good to have one in case, and I use my sharp scissors, you know. And that's pretty much it. All you need besides that is some, you know, lace. That's about 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch wide, depending on how big you want it. And then just bits of paper that you've cut into strips. So anyway, I can't wait to finish these into jewelry. I've got all kinds of ideas for them. So anyway, let's put these aside for now. Let me show you how to make the beads, because that's the basic thing. Once you get that, after that, it's just playing with them and see where you go. That's how I do everything, I think. Okay, so let me set these aside. And first of all, we'll do the lace. I'm going to take this paper out of here and go to my little silicone sheet because we don't want it sticking. Mod Podge will stick, as you know. So I have these little papers that I've cut here to make beads. This isn't your typical wrapped bead that you see all the time. You know, they're usually in like a long triangle shape, which if you want to, you could do that. I don't see why not. But I just want to get them like a cylinder, excuse me. So I usually use, this is like couple and 2.5 inches to maybe 2 inches. But you play around with it. The longer it is, the fatter your cylinder is going to be. And too, it depends on, you know, how you wrap them. If you wrap them around something like maybe a skewer, bamboo skewer, or if you just do it with your fingers, it just depends, you know. So let's put one together and see where it goes. These are so simple. I'm just going to show you. Okay, so I got my Mod Podge here, and it didn't bring my little plate. Anyway, it'll wipe up, so I'm just going to take and put it just a little blob on here. That's the thing about Mod Podge, it's water soluble, so if you don't use gloves with it or whatever, you can get it off your fingers. It'll just peel off. You know, it's not fun to do, but you can. So anyway, here's how I do it. I just get my little foamy brush down in there, and I just put it on. You know, you don't have to get a lot. That's probably even more than you need. And then after that, you just start rolling it. So you find out how you want to roll it, how big you want it to be. And of course, if you put it around something like wood, it's going to stick to it. So I think if you happen to have any of those little coffee stirrer strip, you know, things that come like when you go to Starbucks or stuff, you can save them up, or you can buy them too, but you get so much you'll never use them in your lifetime probably. But if you happen to have one, that would be great. A drinking straw might be a little too big, but hey, play with it, see what you think. You might like it. But anyway, I don't have one right here. I have some in the office, but I didn't bring them over. So I normally just do it like this with my fingers and eyeball it. So this is about that big. So to give you a little point of reference about how deep that is. This is my pointer that I use all the time. So it's probably like 4 millimeter hole, maybe 4, 3.5, 4. Okay, so you don't have to race. So long as it's even a little bit tacky, you're good. It's going to stay together. Just try your best to get it rolled tight. As tight as you can. And you know, here's the thing. This paper is super, super inexpensive. So if it comes out and you're saying, I don't like that, didn't come out right, just start over. You know, it's no big deal. Practice makes perfect, like they say. So I'm going to take my little pointer and just kind of, you know, even this up and get a little tighter. Okay, now I need to put Mod Podge over the front of it too, because it'll harden it up really good so that I can use it in a piece of jewelry. So I'm just, you know, very, very easily going over it. And don't worry if Mod Podge is showing on, it's not supposed to be clear. It dries clear though. Okay, and I am using, let's see, what's this? This is gloss Mod Podge, but there are a bazillion types of Mod Podge. Sometimes you might want a matte, sometimes you might want a satin, just all kind of things. We do carry some of the gloss because, you know, we're a jewelry components company and I don't have every mixed media thing that's out there. Plus, the thing about Mod Podge is I like to have a little bit of it for my customers in case they come by. It's just, they can get it all in one order and they don't have to run the craft store, but you can get it just about anywhere. Probably Walmart even has it. It's a very popular product. So it looks like this when you're done, you know. And then you let it dry. You're going to want to let it dry a while, maybe 8 hours at least, because it'll dry pretty quick and seem done, but it's not. You want to get it really super, super dry so that it's kind of hard. You want a little bit hard. When it's dry, if it's not a little bit hard, you probably want to put another coat of Mod Podge on it rather than just go ahead, because what will happen is it'll be a little bit soft. I had one here that I could show you that was a little bit soft and I didn't like it. Of course, it's not here right now anyways. You don't want it like that. Maybe it was this one. Yeah, this guy was. No, not that one. That one's good. Anyway, just take my word on it. Don't get it soft. You want it to be good and hard before you go ahead and use it to make in jewelry. Okay, so you'll know if it's hard enough. So that's just doing the paper bead, just simple like that. Okay, nothing to it. I do it in a cylinder. If you want it long, like this one, or longer, you know, you just make a wider strip of paper when you do it. That's all as you do. Just gauge yourself. If you make it really wide, then, you know, it's going to be really long. Okay? I think here's the one. No, that's not it. I already said that wasn't. Okay, let's just move on. Okay, so I want to show you how to do the lace bead. So we'll have time to put one together and you can see the total thing. You know, I think this is going to send you on a little journey of discovery. Something new, you know. Okay, so I have a piece of this lace. It's kind of narrow. Okay, I think we have some at the site. If we don't, we will shortly, but it's not that hard to find. You might have some vintage lace in your stash you could use. I'm going to cut this in half because it's a little too long. And then here's my ruler, so let me just measure real quick so I can give you a point of reference about how long this is going to be. So it's about 8.5 inches long. Actually, that's a little bit too long, I think, so I'm going to cut that down a little bit to about 7. Just snip it off there. Alright, so now all I do is the same thing I do with the paper, only you need more Mod Podge when you're doing the lace, because it's very absorbent and you just got more to go through. Concentrate the most of your Mod Podge on the ends. And then as long as you have some in the middle, you're fine. But the ends are the most important part to me. You know, you may find as you develop your own technique with it that no, Brenda, I like that. I like it another way. Then fine, you do it that way. That's what it's all about. The more you make it, the more you become an expert on it, the more ideas you have, and this is all great. Okay, so I've got this done. Don't worry if it lays down back in there as you're working on it. I don't really have another place to put it and have it on camera for you, so it's staying there. It's not a problem. But anyway, I just start the same thing. Just start to roll it. So roll it a little bit and try to get it to stay right on the lace, not go off kilter, you know, because that can happen. You don't want that to happen. Just roll, roll, roll. And when you get about halfway done, you might want to check it. Yeah, that's going to be good. I'm going to have a big enough hole with that. That's going to be good. You want a little bit bigger hole, but you don't want a huge. At least I do. Now, if you started working with like really skinny lace, then maybe you want a smaller hole because you're going to make a different kind of bead out of it. You know, only you will know. This is just the start of something wonderful and new that you're going to do and have a lot of fun with. Okay, so this is about done. Now, toward the end, I want to apply a lot. Really get a lot in there. Okay, so in there. Okay, now I'm going to just kind of, oh no, I can't because it's too loose yet. I was going to just rock it back and forth, but there's not enough in there yet to do that. That's how sometimes I kind of get all the Mod Podge in there where I want it to be, you know, so I can finish up. Alright. Okay. So now I'm going to try and use up everything we've got. So yeah, I will take more Mod Podge and just go over it, go over it, go over it. And I don't colorize these beads until they're dry. I usually take, the beige lace, but you could take anything. If it's already colorized, doesn't matter. But on this stuff, I would wait. If you want to add color, which you could, definitely just take a little acrylic paint and paint it up however you want it to look. You can make it look crazy good. So anyway, but you want to get this down firmly, okay? And there you go. There's your lace bead. I'm just going to test it to make sure I can go all the way through. Yep. And I'm just going to roll it a little bit. See how it is. Yep. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. So that's done. Okay. So now what I'm going to do, since you can see how to do that, there's really nothing to it. You just cut the lace. In that case, about 7 inches. If you're doing the paper, 2.5 to 3. If you want to make it look the size mine is, if you want it bigger or longer or thicker or whatever, you just go longer. That's all. These are already dry. I made these last night, and they are hard. I mean, they have a little give to them, but they're pretty hard. So they're good to go. Can be used. Okay. Now I just want to show you a few other things I did. I made this, was actually like a pendant bead, and I made it out of a piece of, it's like ribbon. The heavy ribbon, And I did the same thing as I did with my lace and I did with my paper. I just cut a strip, as wide as I thought I would want it, and I just ruled it. And this one...
You can do it!
Terribly thick, but it's quite hard. This one worked out really good, and it's pretty too. So I just added a little bling to it because I always like to do that, something a little bit rough or organic with some bling. I just love that. I don't know, I guess you call it juxtaposition. You can look that one up, juxtaposition. So, just, whatever you have, just try different papers and ribbons. And I know you can do this with velvet ribbon as well. So there's just all kinds of things you could do. Now, what I like to do with these little guys is I like to decorate them a little bit with something else. Like, for example, I could take a piece of ribbon. I don't know where I put my velvet ribbon. That's okay. But I could, just run it around for a little bit of color. I could put some little pearls on here. You could use the hot glue, too. It would be okay. In this case, it will stick. I could put a band of rhinestone chain. For that, I would use these 6,000. Just any number of things. But what I've been liking to do, and I'll show you because it's on this little bracelet. I tried making a little bracelet today out of them. I'm not entirely satisfied with it, but I'm not entirely dissatisfied with it. This is stretchy. But I made it with 2 smaller lace beads and 1 fatter, bigger one. And then I just put blingy stuff. Blingy beads and that, wire coil beads, and then I made the paper beads and put on it. It's really quite comfortable. It looks good, But what I did, you can see I put a little bit of trim on here. So I have this trim that I really like. We had some at the website. I don't know if it's there now, but we'll be having more soon because I know I ordered it and it's coming in. But anyway, let me just set this over here. This is stuff. This. Maybe I'll take some of this. I've got too much. I should put some of this on. It's just this stuff, okay? It cuts apart really nice to make it into little sections or to wrap around something or whatever. So I did that. I took, here's some longer pieces, and then here's some little short ones I can put on, Okay, and you can experiment. Once again, you know, it's all about the experimentation of it. So let me put these so you can see them sticking out like this. Okay. Now the one thing too I will tell you, even though we're not really making a stretchy here, when you use big beads like this and they have kind of a bigger hole, you've got to use kind of like a stopper inside the hole, like a little bead of some kind, so that whatever you put up against it, you don't end up having a big space, like a lot of elastic showing, like it comes so the elastic shows. You know, so inside of these I put these little snail pearls. I put a rhinestone bead here. There's snail pearls on the ends of these. See, just kind of blocked it up. And then next to it I have a little spacer with a hole, and that just goes like right down over it, you know. And then here's some cone-shaped beads. Well, actually, these are bell beads. These are new. Well, they're not new at all. They're 60s Japanese porcelain, china, whatever you want to call them. Bell beads are really quite wonderful and quite rare. And I came upon a stash of them. I got some, and they're not a bit expensive. So you might want to hop on over to the website and get some. You won't be sorry. They're not easy to find. So I decided to put a couple of them on there. And see, then I had to put another pearl little thing, something in there for like a stopper, okay? So I just want to mention that to you instead, in case maybe you decide, maybe, you know, your lace beads dry and say, hey, you know, I like that stretchy bracelet. Let me see if I can't make that a little bit nicer still, you know, which you totally could. Just I kind of put that together quick. But the idea is there. Okay, so here's what I do then. Getting back to this trim. I cut it up a little section by section, you see. Let me just do one again, just so you see. There's a little, you want to get it in places where it's, you know, not going to show. It's going to be pretty even. So you get it in there. And then you can always trim it a little bit. That's why you need really good, sharp scissors for this. So that you can get right into the nitty-gritty. Which this is fighting me, but it's not turned around the other side. I'll get it. I really love these scissors. Well, it's fighting me. So I won't use this piece for now, but you get the point, okay? I'll fix that up later. I'm not going to make you sit there and watch that. You don't need to bother with that. Okay, so I just take these little beads and I look for where my seam was. Where did I finish on here? And if you'll notice, this will just go right down over that and kind of hide it. And I like that. I like that look, just one little section. So what I'll do is I've got my little seam there, and I'm going to take my hot glue, my small mini bonder, and I'm just going to put a dab right in there like that. And then, whoops, get this back down over it. Probably should use a little wooden stick or something so you don't burn yourself. So make sure it's all down pretty good. I could put a little bit more right here, because you know, if it's not down all the way, it'll catch on something maybe and pull up or just look ugly. You don't like that. Who likes that? We like making pretty things that stay pretty, right? Okay, so there's what it's going to look like when it's done, just like the ones on my bracelet. You know, so that's kind of pretty. If you have a bigger one, you can go all the way around the middle. I did that with some of my big ones. I used my bigger ones on my tassels. These are quite big. You can see this one's really big. And it's the wider stuff. It's this stuff that I used on that one. But, and I'll tell you how wide. That'd be good to know, right? This is, okay, it's an inch, 25 millimeters, okay? This type. This is an inch wide. Now, for most of these ones, the one we made together just a minute ago, this one, oops, this one is about 3/8 inch wide. So that gives you a good idea how big they're going to look when they come out, you know. So the wider the border trim or lace or paper, whatever you use, then the bigger the bead's going to be. Okay? All right, let's just put this away. So I have a little piece cut off here. I don't know if this one will go all the way around or not. I might have to get another piece. We'll see. No, this isn't quite big enough. You can see, even if I pull on it and stretch it, it's not going to quite make it, and I'm not going to like it. So we'll just save that for something else. And since I have plenty of it, I will just cut off another piece over here. You can use this stuff for so many things. So many things. So do check the website. You know, sometimes, you know, you'll get there after my video and it's like it's gone or whatever. Don't worry, you know, I will have it again. And you can even, you know, tell me, hey, Brenda, where's the lace? You know, did you have it on order? Whatever. Because I will take care of that. Sometimes things, you know, they run out and I got to get more. Sometimes it takes a little while to get them in. Especially this time of year is a little bit hard, but I will do my best. Okay, so let's just see here. This is going to do it, and how many? This looks like it's about 4 of these little flowers. Let's check it again. How much we're going to need? Still stretching it a little bit. You know what? I'm going to cut off 5, and then I'll trim it. And then that way, you make sure it goes all the way around. And again, I'm going to use hot glue. Now, here's the trick, and I have had troubles with this myself. You need to stay like right in the middle. So if you need to, you know, make some little marks or something with a marker. You're going to go over it anyway. It won't hurt anything, right? So, like this one's a little bit crooked. It's okay, but you know, you want to avoid that. So, here's what I do. I'm going to go right down this line here. So I'll start putting it on. Where'd it go? I usually start at the seam. And don't worry if you don't get enough down right at first, because you can go back. You really can. You can go back and get a little bit more. Just be careful you don't burn your fingers. You know, we get used to using this stuff and we think, oh, you know, we forget. Man, you can get some bad glue burns, especially if you're using a bigger one. You know, the big ones. I don't ever use them anymore. I only ever use little ones. And honestly, because I make jewelry, it's not often that I use a hot glue gun, because hot glue gun is really not for jewelry making. But with paper and fabric and ribbon and stuff like that, it really turns out it's the best thing. So, you know, sometimes you have to make adjustments in how you think. But yeah, I am not one, you know, I would never like whip out a hot glue gun and start doing an assemblage like I usually do with all the parts I sometimes use. No. It's not going to stay on. And how do I know? Because I did it. And it didn't work out. I'll tell you what. I had see, if I leave that there, look at, I'm just going to, it's just going to be all hooved up and it's not going to look good. So I'm going to have to cut off in here. I had a piece very early on when I was first starting to make. And it came out so great, and a lady came to a show and she bought it, and then she came back to me. She said, hey, she says it's all falling off, everything's falling off. And she brought it back to me, and I was able to fix it, and I used E6000 at that time because I was learning, you know, there are better things to use than hot glue for jewelry. And she was very kind about it and allowed me to fix it. For some people just, you know, they won't allow you to fix, because it's just like, it's too much trouble, they don't care, it's just rather bad math for your work. You know, you don't want that. You want it good to begin with. So I had to fix it. What happens is, when it gets cold, it kind of contracts a little bit, and it can crack and fall off. If it gets warm, it can get gooey. So that's how that works, when you're doing it with metals and glass and stuff like that. Okay, so that's cute. It's all wrapped all the way around. Okay? Alright. Last thing I want to do with you today is go ahead and try to make something. Okay? And show you how this goes. So, I think I will just use this, because it's okay. It's good to go. It was all dry first. You put the hot glue on. You don't have to wait. So that's all good. So I have a really long head pin here. I love 4-inch head pins. We kind of have a specialty of them at Bead Boutiques. I have a lot of them. A lot of people don't have those. But I love them because it gives you a really long piece of wire to work with. And it's, I wouldn't say it's dead soft, but it's kind of like medium soft. Maybe, well, I don't know. That's pretty soft. It's copper underneath the plating. So I'm going to go, let's see how big this is going to be. So they wrap nice, is what I want to say. Yeah, that'll be enough. I can go a little bit more. They wrap real nice. Of course, the biggest expert on wire around here is Javi. But I don't know, I've been using one too. I'm not a slouch, but she does the most beautiful things. And I'm not patient enough to do what she does. So I do what I do, and it's all good. But anyway, so I'm wrapping this a little bit, going around. Another one. Okay, so now I'm going to trim it with my little trimmers. Alright. Okay, so I'm going to straighten this up a little bit and be sure that my little end is tucked in the best I can do it without distorting my wrap. Okay, that's pretty good. And now, okay, I'm going to start putting this on. Now, I have to have some stopper beads on here because it's not going to work out if I don't. So I have a couple of little, oops, it's just one. I had more. Yeah, here's one. I have a couple of little 8mm Baroques. They're checked glass. We have them at the website. Okay, we have a lot of pearls at the website. You like pearls? We have glass, we have glass, we have all kinds. We even have Miriam Haskell pearls, so how's that? So anyway, I'm going to put one on because I need that stopper to kind of make it stay where I want it to be, you know? Okay, so now I've got that. Now next to that, I'm going to try and see if I can use, this is a double shrag. I don't know if you would know what that is, but it's two of these kind of slanted rondelles, and they're soldered together. They're hard as heck to find. But I was so thrilled I found them. And so long as I can get them, I'm going to be getting them. As I love a double shrag. But you see how it wants to still go kind of kitty corner, which we don't like that. We don't want that. So I'm going to need another couple of beads. And here are a couple of snail beads I'm going to take and use. I have to get more of these too. We have, I think there's 6 or 7 bags of these on the website, and they're cheaper, and I love them. But that's going to fit up in there in the hole. Pretty good. It's going crooked a little bit. I don't like that. I want it to be straight. So the best thing I can do is get everything on there as tight as I can get it. You know, pull it up nice and tight. Yeah, I like unique rondelles and, you know, bead caps and anything, you know, glitzy or whatever that I can find, little ditz things, because that adds so much to your work. It really does. Makes it really different from everybody else's. Get that thing off my thumb. Okay, so I've got enough there. See, even this, it looks a little bit crookedy, but it's okay. Okay, so now what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to get this pulled up as tight as I can get it without, you know, snapping it off. We don't want to do that. Just pull it up as much as I can. Yeah, that's pretty good. Let's see if it's still wants to go cockeyed. I can fix that though. Okay, so now I'm going to just go ahead and wrap that. I'm probably not going to be able to do much of a wrap loop because I didn't have a lot, you know, to go on with that. But I got some. I did something like this only with just paper. That this bead is from that time. I think it was a year ago or something, I did a short class. I think it was only half a day, whatever, on scrapbook jewelry, and I did a lot of paper jewelry in that. And we did these then. It was quite a long time ago. But this is a little bit of an expansion on that idea. I think that class is still on my website, and you can still take it, because my classes, we shoot them live. In case you don't know, we shoot them live, so if you're able to be there in real time when we're doing it, you can be there with us and ask questions, and we have a little banner, and it makes it really nice and fun. But they're recorded, so you can go back and watch them anytime into, like what they say, perpetuity, for like ever. As long as there's a YouTube, you can go there and watch them. So it's kind of nice. They're yours forever. You own the private URL. So just getting this lined up. Okay, so there we go. So you could use this if you want to make, put this in like in a necklace, going up the side of a necklace, you know, or if you wanted to dangle another part from it, say this, like I did for my tassels, and a little something from that. It makes a really cool tassel that's so unique. You're not going to see it everywhere. Or you could use like the paper ones. You could use these going up the side of something, or just anything to, you know, create a lot of interest. You could even use it for a centerpiece and then loop over this and make stuff, you know, little loops to make stuff hanging off of that. That'd be kind of cool too. You know, I'm all about that, doing something unique and different. That's pretty much how that works. So let me line up all this stuff that, you know, we did, so you can kind of get a little review by viewing it, by looking at it. I'm not going to do the paper one because it's the same as the lace one. Same thing. You do the same thing. Just, you know, get your stuff on there and get it to go up into the hole as much as you can, you know, and then pull it up tight so it's not going to move around and get it all out of kilter, because that's not a good look. You won't like that. And this one's got little pieces sticking up too. So what I'll do is after the video, I'll just glue those down a little bit, because I don't like stuff sticking up. That's me. Okay, here's my little bracelet I made. So let me put that in the middle and show you. And then I'll put these here. And then here are my big ones. I put all these pearls and stuff on. Oh, I had so much fun making these. I hope you guys will try it, because it's just so much fun. Then I had the one, oh, this one. This is so cool. This one's going to be a necklace for me. I'm going to tell you that right now. Oh, yeah. There you go. So now, of course, I want to tell you, I'm not a seed bidder. I did not make this. I purchased this. And I'm going to go back and probably get more, because they were realistically priced. And maybe you'd like to have one. So I'm going to see if I can get more, but I just got a couple because I wanted to see them first. I'm like, I don't know if these are any good or not. You know, like that. Sometimes you do buy you something and see what you think. But anyway, I put that on the bottom. It was already made, but these, of course, I made. Here's the lace bead, and these are just the shrag rondelles, just single ones. And the little cylinder bead with the bling and some pearls. These are the vintage Japanese that are already on head pins. Like they look like this. And they come like this. We have a bunch of them at the site. They are so cool. They're vintage Japanese. Really, see, it's still got the old Japan sticker on there. We have them at the site. These are 8mm, which are a really good size to do this. So you don't have any. Stop on over. You will be glad. I think there's like a gross on the wire that holds them. So I mean, you get a good deal there. So anyway, so there's that, you know, made like that. You just work it, you know. I think I took the stuff, put the stuff on this and took it off several times till I got to look like I want. But the more that I make them, the less I'm going to have to do that. I'm going to be able to put them on and boom, 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 be done, because I'm going to know what to expect. It's like at first you play with it, and it's all good, you know. And then I put this cylinder on this one. And I haven't put anything on the bottom yet. I don't know what I'm going to do. I may swap that out yet, but I like it. It's pretty. It's got little French paper on it. So, you know, this is kind of what you can do. Another thing you can do with this, and I don't have any here to show you, but you can get PVC tubing, very narrow, like this, which is, so it would be like 3mm hole maybe, something like that. PVC tubing. And you can cut it to size, do the same thing, and fill it up with stuff. Like little micro beads, maybe, sand, whatever you want, and make it into a connector. So there's a thought too, if you want to go to the hardware store and get some PVC pipe, and then you get your rondelles and your bling and put that with that, and that's once again a beautiful juxtaposition, you know, something that doesn't seem to go with something else, and it's like serendipity almost. It's just like it just happened, and how cool is that? You know, it takes your attention, gets your attention and keeps it. So anyways, I hope you're going to have some fun with this. I hope you will try this technique soon. And it's kind of sort of like, it's not really like what we're doing in Uptown Boho right now, which is the class that's going on right now, which is mixed media, using a lot of fabric and stuff to make boho type things, pretty things, big flowers and stuff like that. This is not in that class, but it gives you an idea of how you can work with ribbon and lace and stuff like that. If you would like to see that class, if you'd like to take that class, there are still links in the Classes and Muses section of beadsandboutiques.com, and you can access it if you want to take it. It's about 20 hours of instruction. We're still in the middle of the class, so the 20 hours are not all there yet, but we've done 2 classes already. One was a full day, one was a half day. Tomorrow, which is Friday, July 8th, I think, 7th, I'm sorry. Friday, July 7th, 2023. We have one, it's a half a day, and we have a couple more half a day after this. So till we get done, it'll be about 20 hours worth of instruction. You can purchase that class at any time and watch it and get as much benefit as anybody who was in the class, because you'll be, in a way, in the class too. So if you're interested in doing that, a lot of my classes are still up on that section. You can still purchase them because they're all on video, and you can watch them. So that's how that goes. So have fun with it, play with it, and just enjoy yourselves, because you're the designer. Don't forget, if you like this video, please, we'd enjoy having a like. Subscribe to my channel. That way you'll get notified every time I do something new, right? And you can leave me a comment too. I love it when you comment. If you have any questions or anything like, leave it. We respond. There was a time many years ago, some of you might know, I didn't, because I didn't get it. I get it now. I even go back on some of those old videos and comment now, because it's just, you know, so important when you take your time to watch my videos and you want to know something, you want to ask me something, I need a response. So I respond. So leave me comments, okay? And if you would like a little bit more of this Bisou stuff that I make, you can come join us at the Bisou Boutiques Creative Group at Facebook. We have lots of members, great people, loving, caring, nurturing bunch of fellow artisans, mixed media artists, and they love doing this kind of stuff too. And we feed off each other, we learn from each other, and we share. So come and join us, why don't you? So don't forget, like, subscribe, and comment, and thanks so much, and we'll see you next time.